Team, and welcome to a new weekly sales meeting. We're very, very excited this week. We've got a great lineup and a lot to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to talk about having a vision for success. Right now, more than ever, it's a challenging market. We've all seen what's happened over the last 2 weeks with interest rates. We're at an unprecedented level. I mean, it's a runaway train. So, rates are at the highest level they've been since 2007. So we're talking about the financial crisis. So it's a big, big deal. And right now, most of the real estate agents that are in the industry, most of the mortgage professionals that are in the industry haven't been through these times before, haven't been through these challenges. A lot of the home buyers on the market haven't been through being a homeowner or a home buyer in a market like this. So it's important there's a vision for success, and it's our job to lead that vision. And this is really, really important, is we've got to zoom out, okay? It's not about looking at October. It's not about looking at November, December, Q1 of 2024. It's about zooming out and looking at the big picture. And we got to look at this, here in our organization. This is how we have to look at it when we're talking to our borrowers. This is how we have to look at it when we're talking to real estate agents. So, when I talk about having a vision for success, for consumers, it's an easy one. All you have to do is zoom out and take a look at, historical trends with interest rates and historical trends with home values. You do that, that's going to tell the story. Where we've been will tell a very clear story of where we're going. We've been in markets where rates have been high. We've been in markets where, the overall inventory restraints have been challenging. And guess what happens over time? Over time, rates come back down, so people refinance their debt. Hey, today, you're borrowing at 7% or 8%. Tomorrow, a year from now, 18 months from now, you're going to be able to refinance down to 6%, 5%, 4%. And to be honest with you, as we've seen at its lowest points, in the twos. So people are going to be able to refinance their debt. Like, that's not even remotely something we have to question. We also know that over time, home values will continue to go up. More buyers will come back into the market. The competitiveness of the market will be at a peak place once rates come down. So we know where that's going. So it's a matter of telling the story of understanding of, hey, listen, if home values, if you look back at, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, with where, the same home you'd buy today, what the value was then, and this was your return on investment, paying a little bit of higher interest on the money on that return on investment over a short period of time isn't a challenge, but you got to tell the story. You got to provide that context. If they just look at, hey, I'm currently renting and I'm paying this, and this is what my mortgage payment would be, it's really easy to get caught up in the rate. It's really easy to get caught up in the noise of what they're seeing on CNBC and on different places about what's going on in the housing market. But it's our job to sell the vision, sell the future, the wealth creation. And, this isn't really much of a sale. It's more about education. It's more about telling that story. Same thing with real estate agents, is we have to show them a path for success. Right now, people are looking for hope. They're looking for, a reason to stay in the business. And as the, experts in our markets, we have to be able to show that. So last week, prime example, you saw Tyler Hodgson and the NXT group. They had, 70 agents in their office, educating them, talking about Agent Connect. Then they hosted a webinar about Agent Connect, had 180 agents on it. People are dying for a solution. People are dying for a vision for success, and they provided it. So, we're going to talk a lot about what we're doing here for a vision for success for our agents through Agent Connect. Obviously, later on today, we have a webinar, which I encourage everybody to get on. But, these are things that we've been working on for a long period of time. Agent Connect didn't happen in Q3. Agent Connect didn't happen in Q2. This is something we've been working on for 15, 16 months, okay? Noah didn't build the ark when it rained, okay? You got to prepare for what's coming, guys. You have to prepare for the future. Agent Connect is a reflection of literally a year and a half of investment in time and energy. And now here we are. We did our pilot. We're expanding the pilot to 15 states in the next week. We are substantially increasing the volume that we're going to be doing or getting as a part of this pilot. And the truth of the matter is that the first phase of the pilot, we were getting aged borrower applications that were anywhere from 30 days old to as old as 180 days old. But that wasn't about the fact that that's what we were going to be working. It was we had to dial our systems, and it was part of a partnership agreement. It was part of understanding, like, hey, we need to get our systems in. We need to make sure we get our LOs that are going to be in the program aligned on the priorities and aligned on what their day is going to look like. And we got to get, we have to really be able to get our reporting in line. Well, guess what? As we've gone through the pilot, the quality of the information that we've been getting as a part of this partnership has gotten better and better. Sean Grapevine just text messaged me right before this meeting and said, hey, listen, we just got a new batch of leads or qualified pre-approved buyers, and they're all from September. So they're all within 30 days. This is the highest quality, the freshest people. And guess what we're going to see? In another 30 days, it's going to be live people. It's going to be people that are going through in live time, and we're getting them. So, you don't get to be part of the outcome, the success, if you don't go through some of the tough parts of it. Everybody wants to be, raising the trophy, celebrating the victory, but nobody wants to do the practice and put in all the reps and do everything they need to do to get to the point where they actually raise the trophy. So right now we've asked everybody, hey, volunteer your time, be part of the pilot, help us dial in our systems, help us make sure we're connecting with these clients the best way possible, help us connect these clients with real estate agents. And we've done a great job, but we need more people to get involved. We need even more people to, spend, 3, 4, 5 hours a day helping us make this program great, especially as we expand it. So, a couple call to actions here are going to be this is number one, what's the vision for the program? Okay. So that's the big thing is we're going to be going live here in 15 states. We're going to be getting, probably in those 15 states, you got to figure we're going to average anywhere from 500 to 1,000 records per month. These are people that fully credit qualified, went through a full purchase application, okay? Now, here's what's going to happen realistically. If we're getting 500 to 1,000 per state, you got to figure, it's 10,000 or so records per month. Of those people, you're going to see 50% of them you'll never get in touch with. For whatever reason, this is just like the way the statistics are going to work out. 50% you'll never get in touch with within the reasonable period of time. The next 6 months, we won't get in touch with them. Then of that remaining 50%, so you got 5,000 left, you got 25% that are going to tell you, hey, listen, I'm looking at a 6 to 18 month window. Great. They're interested. We have a great conversation with them. We build rapport. We put on our calendar to follow up with them in 3 months or whatever the timetable is. And that's the 2025 pipeline, essentially. Then we got 25% of it, so 2,500 records that are ready to buy right now, that are going to, that we're going to validate their information. We're going to make sure they're qualified, and we're going to connect them with an agent. There is no other company in the country that's going to have 2,500 credit qualified buyers that we're going to be able to refer to real estate agents in the market. Now, whether they find a house right now, whether the inventory is there, those are all things that we got to figure out. But right now, when you send an agent, a buyer that's active and that's interested, home run. And that leads me to the vision for the partnership. It's all about relationships. It's all about partnerships. So the next 3 to 6 months, guys, if there's one takeaway that you could have, we're going to go through turmoil. We're going to go through high rates. We're going to go through all of the headwinds that the next 3 to 6 months are going to present. It's going to be one of the toughest times in the history of the mortgage industry. On the other side of it, we're going to have to look back and define success. What is success over this period of time? And what success is did we strengthen our relationships during this period of time? Did we strengthen our partnerships during this period of time? And did we establish new partnerships and new relationships that drive our business going forward? Agent Connect is the foundation for that. Last week we're in Dallas and we have 70 agents, top buyer agents, people showing up to learn about what we're doing. We had 180, 160 people on the webinar that we hosted last week. We're gonna have a whole bunch of people on the webinar we host today. We've already got 100 plus agents coming to Michigan for Winners Win in a couple weeks. Like, the interest is through the roof. We need to do a better job of cultivating the communication and getting in front of more people. But, I hear things from people like, I've had LOs reach out to me like, well, I'm just concerned about, whether we're going to be able to deliver. Whoa. Guys, we've got our top people posting every day showing success stories of applications that we've referred to buyers. We're constantly communicating about this. Just because you're not in a state where the pilot is live, or just because you're not in the pilot group, doesn't mean it's not happening. So you have to understand, you have to trust the process. You have to trust the information. But more than anything, put that decision in real estate agent's hands. Say, hey, I can't guarantee this, but here's the requirements. Here's what you need to participate in the program, and invite them in. And what you're going to find very quickly is people are dying to be in touch with buyers. Real estate agents don't have referral sources. Like for loan officers, we have financial advisors, we have real estate agents, we have past clients. For real estate agents, it's just their past clients. So, they're constantly sourcing for new business. The minute you refer them one client, you became their number one referral source. The minute you send them 2 clients, you are their partner for life. And that's what partnership is about. That's why relationships are important. So we're going to lean in to the relationships that have driven our business. We're going to add value through education and through the Agent Connect partnership to the partners that we work with, that we add reciprocal value to our businesses. And we're going to understand that we have to be a fully aligned here. It's not good enough for 20% of our people to be on board. We need 100% of our people on board. This is an exclusive offering. It differentiates and separates, and it's about domination. This is a market share winning program. This is why we've been working on it for 18 months. It's for this exact moment. When it's the most challenging time in the industry, we're bringing value to our partners. We're connecting home buyers with the best agent in our local communities for them, and we're building our 2024 pipeline. You're going to see a lot of LOs that were not market share leaders in their markets become market share leaders because of this program. But you can't go half in on it. You got to go all in. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. You got to make the sacrifice, and you got to be a beginner again. Just like Sean Grapevine, just like all the other people that are in the program. You got to go and actually roll up your sleeves and do the hard work. So my challenge to everybody, today's webinar, we're going to have our Agent Connect webinar at 3 p.m. Make sure you attend. Make sure you invite your agents. Make sure you invite your friends that are in the industry. It's going to be valuable. It's going to be very eye-opening. Number 2, come to Winners Win November 1st and 2nd. Like, this is unbelievable value. It's going to be a transformational experience, and it's going to help us all get better as an organization, as a team. It's going to help you go back to your communities and to your partners and dominate your local market. So I'm going to hand it off here to Matt Newman. I'll be back shortly.
I'm Matt Newman, co-branch manager of the Atlanta branch at UMortgage. Today, I wanted to talk to you about borrower communication. Why is it so important to make sure your borrower is up to date on every step of the loan? Well, understandably, buying a home and obtaining a mortgage is easily the largest financial transaction a person will go through in their lifetime. And this can mean a lot of stress and anxiety. It is our job as the loan originator, not only to get them into the best loan and structure the loan for their goals and desires, but it is our job to alleviate as much stress and anxiety as possible throughout the transaction. It's also a wonderful opportunity to deepen the relationship with the borrower, and that's going to pay dividends in terms of referrals for many years to come. Here at UMortgage, we talk about relationships, not transactions, and that's why communication is so crucial. The ways I'm communicating to my borrowers throughout the process are, through every mean possible. That means email status updates from our LOS system in Arrive. That means text messages. It means phone calls. It means Loom videos. Whatever method our borrower prefers for communication, that's what I'm going to utilize with them. I'll try all. If they prefer one, then we'll stick to that. As far as how often, we are communicating at every milestone, which means when the loan disclosures are sent, we're walking them through the loan estimate. We're also letting them know when the loan goes into underwriting. We're letting them know when the loan is approved with conditions, when the appraisal is back, when the closing disclosure is sent, when we get the clear to close. Each one of these are opportunities to communicate with our borrowers. In addition, on every Tuesday here at UMortgage in our Level Up coaching program, we're doing a pipeline status update, which means we call not only the borrowers, we also call all the parties to the transaction, including the listing agent, the buyer's agent, the title or closing attorney agent, as well as even the homeowner's insurance agent. And again, this is so crucial because there's so many unknowns throughout the loan process that we have to do everything possible to communicate as much as possible throughout the transaction. Previous to becoming a loan originator in 2017, I was a real estate agent for about 11 years. And I can tell you, this is easily probably the number one thing that loan officers fail at. And it's the easiest way to impress and alleviate that stress and anxiety for our borrowers. We're in sales. The more people we talk to, the more referrals we're going to get. So the best time for somebody to answer our call is when we've got a transaction going with them. So that's how we're making sure all the other parties are up to date as well. My challenge to you is create an action plan. Make sure you're keeping up with your borrowers and you're communicating at every step of the transaction. And furthermore, keep it going after the transaction. Make a phone call and reach out to the borrower for the first payment. Also their birthdays, closing anniversaries, and so on.
Hey, UMortgage family. Today I want to talk to you guys about not only creating a memorable experience for getting 5-star reviews, but actually how to approach getting those reviews after closing or even before closing. So right now in our current market, every single person that's buying a home is Googling your name, looking up how do you perform when getting someone a mortgage, whether that be through Google, Zillow, whatever it may be, what avenue you go ahead and collect reviews, I can guarantee they are looking you up and seeing what your reviews are, right? So first things first, how do we create that experience to where people will go out to create a 5-star review for us? It starts with the first initial phone call. Make sure that person's informed. Make sure they know what's going on. When contract to close, they know all the ins and outs that's going on with their transaction. You're keeping them informed. You're keeping all parties informed and creating that experience that we all shoot for. Now, as far as with reviews, a lot of people ask, when do we go ahead and ask for these, right? I like to call it the wow experience. A lot of times it may be before the closing's actually over. That initial call when you have a clear to close and someone's very excited, a lot of times that's when I go ahead and say, hey, since you had a great experience, it was everything you imagined, would it take time for you to leave my team and I a review? Sometimes it might not be that time. Sometimes it'll be after the closing. You can go ahead and say, hey, I sent you over an email. I don't like to say I sent you over an email. I like to say, hey, I'm sending you this now. Could you open it up? It will take, 1 to 2 minutes, and have that person fill it out. It takes some, 1 to 2 minutes, and that can help inform people for future business. Now, how this has impacted my business is right now in our current market, we have a lot of competition, right? Everyone's competing for the same business. And if you're a person that has reviews, you have an online presence, and people, know, like, and trust you, they're going to want to work with you opposed to someone that has no online presence or any 5-star reviews. And it's really just a matter of that. Now, my call to action for you guys is whatever transactions you currently have, ask for that review. Create that wow experience. Make sure you're asking for the review, asking for the business. And this not only has to be for the actual client buyer, this can be for the listing agent. This can be for the buyer's agent. Go ahead and leave them a review. Go ahead and reach out to title company. And if they did a good job, leave them a review. A lot of times we think, we can't go ahead and leave a review for other parties. We're the only ones that want to go ahead and take those reviews for our business. I can tell you it's a give and take. Ask for a review, give a review. If someone made a great experience, a lot of agents that I work with for the first time, you can use that as a leg to get their foot in the door. I can tell you their lender's not leaving them a review. So whatever transactions you're currently working on, my call to action is go ahead and try to get 2 to 3 reviews out of that transaction. Help your partners get reviews. Go ahead and make it a memorable experience. Go ahead and make that 5-star experience and go out and go get more reviews. Let's go.
Hey guys, Glenda White here, called the Mortgage Coach DFW. I'm here at the NXT Takeover. Today we're talking about creating connections and how do we leverage what we're doing today to create our connections for tomorrow. One of the topics that I personally love to do are teaching classes. It's a great way to get face-to-face with these agents and leverage what we have here at UMortgage or a class that maybe you think about outside. So such for instance, when I'm having a conversation with an agent and they're feeling a pain point, I ask them what their pain point is. Maybe it's Google, maybe it's ChatGPT, maybe it's just how to get a lead gen or a CRM. And the great thing is our marketing department has supplied so many presentations for us that is an inside way to help your agents leverage how to grow their business. So make sure you check the marketing department to go find those presentations. The great thing is use ChatGPT if you can't find it and make your own presentation, put your own spin on it like I've done, but that creates relationships to nourish after. So a couple of the conversations that I like to do is when we're navigating how to get this client into maybe a meeting, the very first thing I ask is what's their struggle. I don't ever talk about me, but I ask them the what, the why, the who, and the how. I know that sounds weird. We're going to go back to elementary, but when an agent is struggling and maybe they don't know where to find their why, y'all make a class on it. It makes it super easy. We never have to talk about our lending programs, but when we show them the value of a face-to-face conversation of how to actually grow their business, then that is the one step that we have that not a lot of lenders can do. So leverage your inside help, maybe coach for me, cheer coach, football coach. Leverage what you have on the inside and ask the questions: who, what, when, where, and how. That's going to move the needle for the next presentation you may have. Post-class, post-follow-up strategy for me, super easy. I have a 12-week campaign that I built out of ChatGPT on how to follow up with these agents. Week 1, it could be a quick handwritten thank you card. I know UMortgage is huge on this, so make sure you get your sales screen as well. So the first week is a thank you card. The next week may be a video. The next week may say, hey, you don't have a Google My Business page. So again, when we're having these conversations week over week for 12 weeks, it's a matter of what's missing in their business and let ChatGPT help run that for you. So go deliver the expectation in ChatGPT to write a 12-week post-conversation follow-up and include a couple of the pain points. Super easy. Put it in your Asana or Trello board like I have and do a quick follow-up every single week for 12 weeks and then see what that does to your business. But I have a quick call to action for you as well. My call to action for you is how and the what, right? So for you, go out and just do it. Because when you talk to a lot of lenders out there, they say they're doing it, but they're not really doing it. And how you can stand out and go +1 is to just offer value. Do not call and ask and tell them about our great load program that one of our brokers is doing. That's not going to work. What's going to work is for you to move the needle in their business is to help leverage how you can grow their business. Who, what, when, where, and how. How you can do it: stand out in the crowd, have conversations, tag them on social media, convert with them, have conversations with them, because that is what you need to move the needle in your business 91 days from now. So I hope you enjoyed this today. We're talking about creating connections. Think about yourself, the who, what, when, where, and how, and then let's see what happens.
Hey, this is Nash Paradise, Director of Sales for NXT Mortgage. Just wanted to take a quick second here to talk about Agent Connect and how we're using it to connect with new partners, new referral sources, and how it's changing our 2024. I think the coolest thing about Agent Connect right now, even though we're in the pilot phase, even though it's mostly just opportunity and looking, to the future, is the number of agents who need a plan in 2024 is basically all of them. Everyone's business is down. Everyone's trying to figure out how they can reshape their next year's production. And Agent Connect is a giant tool for that. In fact, it's gotten to a point where after the webinar that we did, now setting up the one-on-one meetings, realtors are coming to us to audition to be a part of the program for a chance at the access to this program. We haven't had to oversell it. We don't know exactly how many leads we're getting. We don't know exactly how many pre-approved buyers are going to come through the program. But what we do know is this is a huge initiative for UMortgage, and we want the best of the best. And so when it's presented that way, we can say, hey, there's limited spots open. I've got room for 5 partners, 7 partners, 10 partners. I want the best people in my market to handle these calls. I can pick and choose. I can interview people for this. I can ask these realtors, how well do you close? How do you handle objections? What do you do when a buyer comes to you and has a pre-approval, with an online lender, with a bank? How do you get them turned around to, your lender? How do you show your value? Because we only want the best people in this program. Additionally, we can position this conversation around, we want depth. I understand that not everyone had the 2023 they want. But I'm a lot more interested in an agent who sends me, 3 out of 3 buyers that they get in a quarter instead of the agent that sends me, 5 out of 15. We want to have deep, good, trusting relationships, because with these leads coming from an online lead source, not a referral, we have to be absolutely nails. We have to capture them. We have to nurture them. And I need a realtor who can show enough value, and they're a boss of the transaction, that they can come back and say, yeah, no, absolutely. I've put these people together. We're going to take them, where they need to be. And, they're going to boss up on everything from their end. So they are literally coming to us to pitch us on why we should consider them for the program. Further, going past that, in the way that we're reaching out, everything should be one-on-one. It should be specific. It should be very much around, I choose you, I want you. And we have that leverage. We have something that they're not getting from anyone else. Every lead source they work with, Zillow, Realtor.com, Opcity, they have to pay for it. They have to pay for it up front, or it's like 30 to 35% of their commission. With Agent Connect, it costs them nothing. So we hold all the leverage. We hold the scarcity. We hold the ability to say, I want to work with you and I choose you. And that realtor comes back saying, that's awesome, man. I want to be that guy. Thank you for choosing me. Let me show you what I can do. And getting into the program early and getting them access to us, building that relationship before we're at full launch, lets us see how well we work together, lets us practice, gives me a chance to audition to be your guy. And so absolutely, if you haven't yet, make sure you're telling your agents about this program, let them know what's coming, and, pick and choose, figure out the best of the best and see who you want to work with. And you will be absolutely amazed at the response that you get. It's absolutely going to change our 2024 and beyond. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about the early rollout of this program. People are dying to work with us, and for good reason.
All right, team. Thank you, Nash. Thank you, Matt Newman, Courtney, Glenda. Great job, everybody. I appreciate all of you. So a couple things here we're going to wrap up on. Yesterday, I shared a post in Workplace. We've been working on putting together a report that brings visibility on a weekly basis to everything that's going on in our business. One of the things that I've, had to, deal with some challenges on is, listen, UMortgage is a unique animal, a unique company. We have 140 of our team members that are shareholders in the company. They're investors. So, people want to know what's going on. What are we doing? What are we working on? And when you're working, in the decentralized way that we do, people are across the country, sometimes it's hard to get visibility or know what's coming, or, get a clear idea of like, what did we accomplish last week? What are we working on? So over the last 3 months, we've been working really hard. Michael Christ, Corey Burns, Sam Hoffer, Emma Z, I'm just going to, her last name, can't pronounce it, Corey Meredith, a lot of different people have been working, helping us bring this weekly report to life. And believe me, it sounds like it's easy. Like it was a report. It's a lot more than just a report. Every week we're updating, our production numbers, our key performance indicators, our goals. Where are we, aligned with our goals? So you get the high level things, NPS as well. You're getting those high level things, those metrics, those SLAs. How are we doing performance wise? Where are we at on key projects that we're working on? Are we making progress? What are the deliverable dates? What are the timelines? And then each team within our organization, each division, each department fills out a weekly update of the things that they're working on. Hey, what are the things that we identified as opportunities to get better? What are the problems that we solved this week? What are the things that we previously got feedback on that we could get better at that we, implemented this week? What are the things that, we're working on to automate or bring a digital improvement to the experience on? Like every department, we're talking about, this is a 40, 50 page report that we're updating every single week. So I shared it yesterday in Workplace. Do I expect everybody to read this thing every single week? No, I don't. But here's the thing is like, it brings visibility when you're ready to see. You could see, hey, when I submit report up feedback, how does that translate into the company? You can see very quickly, somebody submits report up feedback on how we can get better. Boom, the team that's related to, they're going to have that as one of their priorities. Hey, we got this feedback. We're evaluating it, or we got this feedback a couple weeks ago, and here's how we're solving the problem. Here's how we're solutioning it. Here's how we're preventing it from happening in the future. So it's an unbelievable resource. It's all about transparency and visibility and accessibility. And here's the thing is when you open up things like this, it creates more ideas. It creates more feedback. It creates more opportunities for improvement. So, one of our core values is create strong communities. This is one of the ways that we're working on doing it. So, we'd love to hear feedback. We'd love to hear, hey, Anthony, we'd love to see this in that report. We'd love to get, here's an opportunity to make it a little bit more digestible and a little bit more easy to understand. Whatever the feedback is, we want to hear it. We want to make it better. But just understand it's been a lot of work to bring it to life, but it helps everybody understand what's going on behind the scenes. What are we working on? How are we working on getting better? You don't get to where we are as a company in the period of time that we've gotten here without a lot of people working very hard to make it happen. And by bringing this report to everybody, I think you're going to see, man, like there's a lot of people working really hard. I don't even know some of these people, and look at what they're doing. Look at how they're working on making it better. Look at how my feedback about my onboarding experience or on a loan that I closed last month has translated into process improvement, experience improvement. Look how seriously they take things. So you'll see it. It's great. Spend some time on it. Moving forward, we're going to update this and release it every Monday by the end of the day. end of the business day, that is. So, again, love the feedback. Share your thoughts. Would love to hear how everybody thinks about this. Last thing here, you heard a lot, big theme here, Agent Connect. Agent Connect is it, okay? There's a lot of gimmicks out there. There's a lot of noise out there. To me, one of the most important things is understanding what we need to be focused on. In the book, Good to Great, Jim Collins talks about every organization that has made the leap to go from good to great has been able to get 100% of their team members growing in the same direction. And those companies that are able to do that not only make the leap from good to great, but they dominate their industries. So for us, we are going to get very focused as an organization, okay? It's not going to be noisy here anymore. Everybody's going to understand we are focused on growing. We are focused on growing our partnerships and our relationships. Our relationships are the loan originators out at UMortgage, the team members at UMortgage, helping them get better, helping them grow, bringing new loan officers to UMortgage, helping them grow, helping them build their business as a part of what we're doing, building partnerships with real estate agents, with people in our communities that we can help add value to, that we can help drive their business through Agent Connect. It's going to be a laser focus moving forward. So just understand Agent Connect is a big part of what we're doing. We need 100% of our team members, loan officers, operations people, everybody needs to be on board. This is something that no one else has. It's the biggest deal that we can possibly have. And on the other side of this market, we're going to dominate all of our markets because we brought this value to our realtors, and the realtors that grow in the future years are going to be growing because of Agent Connect. So just understand, today at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Sean Grapevine is going to lead the webinar. Please, please, please. There's things that are priorities, and this is one of them. There's nothing that's more important than learning, hearing, and seeing the vision for Agent Connect today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Invite your agents and understand this is the game. This is how we're going to dominate. This is how we're going to win. This is how you're going to separate yourself. And you're going to hear everything directly from Sean Grapevine today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So have a great day, dominate your day, and talk to you soon.